My name is Kaustubh Varti with CA Technologies, and I'm a part of the Continuous Delivery SWAT team. We will be using the online automotive retailer called Forward Cars to show how easy it is to do API testing with CA Service Virtualization. The application programming interface, API testing, and service virtualization consists of automating the testing functionality and/or performance for APIs or web services and solutions to simulate or virtualize interdependent components. Rather than driving the user interface, it tests the system-to-system interactions driving the APIs and the services. API tests validate the correct behavior of a virtual service by generating requests and inspecting the corresponding responses. Simultaneously, virtual services receive these requests, emulate the real-world services behavior, and provide the appropriate responses on any number of protocols. Since the API tests are also generated when the virtual service is created, it enables you to perform functional testing as well as non-functional testing, such as performance testing against a simulated connection or load testing that simulates multiple connections. Let's get into the demo to see how we can create the following. First, an API test based on a REST-based endpoint. Second, a RESTful virtual service. Then we will run the API test against the virtual service and verify that the responses from the virtual service are as expected. So this is the online automotive retailer Forward Cars. In this application, you can do an inventory search for the cars. When look up on a particular car, you can apply for a loan and then finally check your loan status. So as a part of this demo, we are going to virtualize the REST-based endpoints. And we are also going to create an API test that will run against the virtual service based on the REST protocol. To create the virtual service against the Forward Cars application, we go into the dev test portal and go to virtual service via recording. We give it a name, Cars Test API. Keep the protocol as HTTP. We enter the endpoint of the Cars application here. The ESB for this application is running on port 7000. And you see the connection was made from the service virtualization product to the Cars application. And it automatically gave us a port that it's going to listen on, which is 4667. You can copy that port, hit start recording, and go back to Forward Cars application. Go to the admin UI and change the port from 7000, which is the default port, to the new port 4667. Back into the portal, the recording has started, and you see the transactions captured here at this point are 0. So go back to the Forward Cars application, and we go to inventory search. It brings up all the cars. Clicking on the first car, get all the information about the car. I click on the VIN and do a lookup on the VIN number. It gives me the different fields, the year, the make, the model, the engine, and so on. Once I decide I like this car, go to the loan application and log in as the regular user. Lisa Simpson. Select the term. In this case, I'll select 48 months. This is the loan amount. Hit apply. And then you can go and check on the loan status. This is the loan status that was retrieved. Log out of the application. Go back to the portal and you'll see that there were 10 transactions that were captured. To click on the list of transactions, you can click there and get all the information. Once you're good with the transactions, you can click stop recording and proceed to the next set of options. Click next. Since this is a REST-based protocol, you select that. Click Next. These are the URI rules. By default, whatever is shown here is good for this application and for the recording. So we hit Save and Next. We select Save and Deploy Virtual Service. And in this case, we select Create Baseline Test. That's our API test that will be created. Click Save. Now that the virtual service was created and deployed, to look at the virtual service, we'll click on Monitor, Virtual Service Environments, and select the name of the virtual server called as VSC. We choose to see the virtual service that we just recorded. It was running on port 4667. So now that we have this running, let's look at the API test that was created. Click on Manage, go to Tests, and I see the API test that was created that's running here. I select the test and select Run. And this test will now run against the virtual service. Choose to filter here. Cars test. And the status of this test is it's still running. And here you see the test successfully completed. Go back to the VSC and we look at the virtual service that is running. And you see the transaction count changed from 0 to 7. There are 7 steps in this API test, and you see that transaction count changed to 7. Let's look at the test itself. Go into the monitoring tests and you click on the test that just ran. When you drill down into it, you see all the steps that ran as a part of this test execution. You click on cars and you'll see the request that was sent to the virtual service and the response that was received back from the virtual service. Let's click on the loan. You can see the information that was sent as a part of the loan application, the details about the user, Lisa Simpson, the city, the state, the phone number, and the response that came back saying that the loan was accepted. In this way, you saw how we were able to create an API test and run it against the virtual service, thereby showing the power of API testing using CA Service Virtualization. Thank you for watching, and for more information, please go to www.ca.com/sv. Thank you.